In the last video, we discussed about the decision stage. In this video, let's talk about the choice stage, which is like an extended version of the decision stage. The functionality of a choice stage is exactly the same as a decision stage, where it routes the process flow depending on a condition. But there is a major difference between the decision and choice stages. A decision stage allows you to set only two conditions, which are true and false, so that the process can take only one of the two paths. But what if you want to have more than two conditions and have the process choose a path from more than two paths? That's where the choice stage comes handy. This is exactly the same as a switch case in any programming language. Let's see how this works. We will create a process to find the grade of a student from the percentage scored in the exam. So this table will be a reference where we will give A grade for someone who scores 90 to 100, B grade for 80 to 89, and so on. We can certainly do this using the decision stage, but you need to place one decision stage for each of this condition. The easier way to accomplish this is by using the choice stage. So first, I will place two data items, one to input the percentage and the other one to store the output, which is the grade. I'll name the first data item as percentage and set the data type as number. Then I'll name the second data item as grade and set the data type as text. I'll then drag and drop a choice stage. You can see by default the choice stage comes with two elements, choice 1 and otherwise. You will understand this in a moment when I configure this. I'll double click the choice 1 to get to the properties. Now here I can add any number of choices, which are basically the conditions. You also need to specify a name for the choice you enter. So our first choice is grade A, where the percentage should be from 90 to 100, which means the percentage should be greater than or equal to 90 and less than or equal to 100. I can directly write this expression here, but for the first choice, I'll use the expression editor. So I click this button and the expression editor pops up. Now there are two conditions to be met for grade A, which is basically the percentage should be greater than or equal to 90 and it should be lesser than or equal to 100. So we will use the AND function to check both these conditions, which are percentage is greater than or equal to 90 and percentage is lesser than or equal to 100. Now if you don't know how to type this expression, don't worry about it. You can again build this expression. Click the expression editor. Under logic, select greater than or equal to. Drag and drop percentage into operand A. Type 90 into operand B and click paste. Then click OK and you should see this expression got filled in. It's perfectly fine to use the expression builder, but it is time consuming, so eventually you need to learn to type the expression so that you can be more productive. Now if I click paste, the complete expression got filled in. I'll click OK and the first choice is created with the criteria. I'll similarly add the rest of the choices by clicking the add button and typing in the choice name and criteria. Okay, now I have entered all the choices and when I click OK, you can see that Blue Prism has created 6 points here, 1 point for each choice. So basically the choice stage will route the process flow to one of these points depending on the criteria we specified in each choice. Let me rearrange this a little bit so there is enough space between each of these points. Now we need to add one calc stage for each point. Then link the points to the calc stages. You can see that the choice name has appeared on each of these links. Now I'm going to configure each of these calc stages. I'll first open calc 1, rename it to grade A, type the expression grade A, then drag and drop the data item grade into the store in field. Now remember, whenever you type some text into the expression, it should always be in double quotes. Otherwise, Blue Prism is going to think this is a formula or a number and it will throw an error. Now what it means is that when the percentage is between 90 and 100, the choice stage will route the process flow through this point and the calc stage will update the data item grade as grade A. I'm going to configure rest of the 5 calc stages the same way. Alright, now we have one more option called otherwise. This is basically used to route the process if the choice stage does not meet any of the conditions specified in here. For example, if I give a value like 200, it will not take any of these 6 routes. Instead, it will come to this otherwise point. So I'm going to add one more calc stage for the otherwise path, and we'll use that to say the percentage is invalid. So I'll rename it as invalid percentage and mention the same in the expression, then store it in grade and click OK. Now I'll link all these calc stages to the end stage and link the start stage to the choice stage. We'll go ahead and give the value 75 to the percentage data item, then click reset and click run. You can see that the grade data item is updated as grade C. Now let me give 95. Then reset, run, and you can see that it is grade A now. Let's try a value over 100. I'll give it as say 150, and if I click run now, you can see that it took the otherwise path and updated the grade as invalid percentage because 150 doesn't fall under any of the conditions specified in the choice stage. In the next video, we will discuss about the collection and loop stages.